Hey Thinksters, and welcome to this video where I will show you how to count the number of matches for Python regular expressions. So I just wrote some regular expressions in Python that matched multiple times in a given text and wondered how to count the number of matches. Okay, so consider, so you have an example, say you have a text. Python is the best programming language in the world, so complicated or longer text, and you have a pattern like simple pattern A to Z plus, so you have a character set consisting of all lowercase characters from A to Z, and we want to have an arbitrary number of them, so at least once operator, the plus operator. And now of course there are many matches here, so many words in this text match, so basically many substrings match this pattern. So now how can we get the number of times our pattern matches in the given text? And the simplest way is simply to use the find all function. Okay, and so we have the find all function which matches a given pattern in a given string, and it finds all occurrences of the pattern in the string and returns a list of. First I need to import re, obviously. So re is the Python package for regular expression processing. Okay, and now I can find all pattern in the text. And now you can see it returns a list of substrings. And all of those substrings are valid pattern matches. And yeah, of course our character set doesn't match the whitespace characters, so they match all lowercase words here in our given text. And then of course, to get the number of times a certain pattern matches in a given string, you simply use the length function. So just len function, opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis, and within it you have the find all function, which returns a list of strings of valid matches, and this will give you the number of times we have a match. Good. The second way, I just want to be comprehensive. So this way is finds all non-overlapping matches basically. And second way is to use the find iter function. So here we have, say, the same pattern, same text, and now we simply iterate over all matches in the find iter pattern text. So the find iter function has the same arguments as the find all function, but it creates an iterator, and the iterator allows us to iterate over all match objects, and this is one advantage that we have. So many times you don't want to find only the number of matches, but you also want to do something with the matches, and so the find iter function goes over all matches, and all matches returning the match object. This is an advantage. So a match object is a more powerful representation of a match than a given substring, because oftentimes a substring is just the same for all matches. So say you want to match a certain string in a given text, like a word, say Romeo in Romeo and Juliet, and yeah, then it will just give you Romeo. It will give you all these similar strings, and this is not very meaningful. So if you want to have some more meaningful representation, you should go for match objects, and you can find all match objects with the find iter function. And yeah, now you can, for example, you can do the following. You can print them, then you get all the matches, and you see, okay, we have 9 matches here, and you see we have 9 match objects. And the match objects, as I said, are more powerful. It gives you the start index, the end index of the match. It gives you the match string itself. So it is a more comprehensive way of matching. And then of course you can use this. So for example, you can create a count variable, and then you can like iterate over all matches in find iter pattern text, and simply calculate count plus equals 1, and this will give you then the result in the count function. And a more Pythonic solution for this would be to just, so if you want to have a one-liner, you just print the length of a list, and the list we will create now. The list is now a list of all matching substrings. We have all matching objects. So it's a list of matching objects I for I in re.findIter of our pattern in the text. Okay, so this is this is a expression. So we just use the identical expression. We just take the result, so the resulting objects from our context. This part is the context part. We iterate over all instances in our iterator returned by the findIter function, and all instances means all match objects, so we have found all matches. And this method also works great if you are looking for non-overlapping matches. But what if you want to look for overlapping matches? So the above two methods work great if there are no overlapping matches, but if there are overlapping matches, the regex engine will just ignore them because it consumes the whole matching substring and starts matching the next pattern only after the stop index of the previous match. So if you need to find the number of non-overlapping matches, basically the number of overlapping matches, you need to use a different approach here. And the idea is to keep track of the start position in the previous match and then increment it by 1 after each match. So say we have the pattern 99, then we have a string like text, say 999. So very simple. Let's keep it as simple as this. So we have a pattern and a text, and now obviously, so if you would use the findAll function, we can do it, findAll pattern in the text, then it will find only one occurrence. Yeah, because it just consumes part of the text, so it matches those two. It finds only one occurrence, but then it doesn't find the non-overlapping pattern match, which would be this one. So if you want to do this, then you can use the following method. So you create a left variable, you create a count variable, then you iterate in a while loop. So you first match so you use the search method, which searches the given pattern in a given string. So we search for obviously for our pattern in the text, but not in the whole text, only in the part of the text. So we use slicing to access only part of the text. So we start with the leftmost character, and initially the left index is 0. So we start with the first position in our text. So basically we start with the whole text. But then if we matched, so like if there's not a match, we are basically already done, so we can break out of the loop. But if there is a match, then we will keep on doing. So we will increase our counter, so because we have found one more match, and then we set our left argument to, so we simply add the start position of the previous match plus 1. So what does this mean? So the start position of the previous match, you can see initially our start position is 0, so the first object here, for example, would match. But then so this is the start position of the previous match, and we simply add 1 to this, which means that we have the index 1. So next time we won't find the same match object here, so we will find a different object, but we will start from position 1, which means that we can still find overlapping matches. We don't, so to say, we don't consume the parts we have already matched. We consume only the first character of the match we have already produced. And and then of course here in the next iteration, we will have, if we match at position 0 already, then we would simply add 1 to our left index, and now we start with 1 to the rest of the string. So we slice the whole string starting from position 1. So basically we would find all matches even if they overlap with the previous match. But not the previous match. So the previous match is not a valid match. Okay, and now we simply repeat this, and now we can print the contents of the count variable, which is 2. So in this case we have the pattern appears 2 times in our text if we want to search for overlapping text. Okay, so this is how you can do it. I've given you 3 methods, 2 methods for non-overlapping text. The first one with the find all function, the second one with the findIter function if you need to have the match objects, and I've given you this method which works for overlapping text. Okay, thanks for listening and see you in the next video. Bye.